Hey guys, Sunday, January 19, 2025. What an interesting time we're living in. I just noticed something here interesting. Let's see, maybe I could just delete that. I don't know what that is right there. But anyway, I just got distracted by that. It's like a trend line that I made. I got something. Maybe we could throw that away. Okay. So a couple of things. I wanted to start out a little different. I wanted to start out with what has not been working. But before I do that, let's I found a comment that I thought it was very, very interesting. And Mr. I think Demo09 or Demo9. Too much information. I don't think anyone can follow you. I even gave him a little thumbs up and gave him a heart sign. I don't think Mr. Demo9, I don't think he's aware of Gann that much. Because if he would, he'd probably be, okay, maybe things are different. For those that don't know, this is Gann's chart. Look at that. Look at all those numbers spiraling around. Look at the 90-degree. Look at the times for the day. I mean, what do you do with this? You think this is information overload? Look at his chart here. The December cotton. Look at all these numbers down here. Look at all these angles. Mind you, this was on paper, and he's writing this down with his hands. No computer. Look at this, the square of 9. Look at all these months and numbers on a piece of paper. And it's the ones with the grids on it. I mean, look at this one. All these notes, all this stuff in here. Imagine if I was showing you this on the weekly basis. I don't know, maybe some of you might like that. Look at his master 360 circle chart. Look at these fractions going up. 12 months across. Look at the squares crossing on each other. All these numbers. Finding resistance points and supports. Look at that, he circled a few. His famous chart, the maize soybeans. Look at Jupiter. Some say that he didn't use astrology and stuff like that. Look at that. Jupiter crossing right here. I think Mars is somewhere coming, intersecting, and boom, you got the high, and then soybeans started selling off. I mean, can I continue going on? Look at his forecast for 1922. Look how he did that. Closes very simple. Like, yeah, we're going to get a high here. Boom, 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 boom. Low in October, get ready. Boom, 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 boom. Look at this chart. So you asked me, is too much information? Man, what I'm giving you here is nothing compares to what W. Gann was doing. Nothing. I mean, not all this stuff here. Some of this stuff is modern. I just showed you his old the charts he written with his hands and the information that he had there and stuff that he was looking at. But anyway, I digress. I just wanted to just kind of show you. Look at this one. Wow. You talking about lines and trend lines and stuff like that? Look at that chart. Anyway, you get the idea. I just wanted to show Mr. Demo09 that if you think what I'm doing is information overload, you haven't seen what he has been doing on paper with his hands. Let's go to the chart. Hopefully you stick around and hang out with us and keep watching the videos. So let's dive into the chart. Let's see what has not been working. As you see, is something new here. There's a trend line. The hot zone I was looking at was this area right here. Pretty much you can say from November to April, this was going to be the hot zone. Everything was indicating that things were going to probably spiral down for whatever reason that would be. Not knowing if it's the weather, whatever. And let's look at what has not been working. Our annual cycle. So far, our annual cycle topped around December and went straight down into March, April. You can see that nat gas is just chucking along. I had to put a trend line so you can see that we are going up and ignoring this annual cycle. Our fast annual, which is 3 years worth of data, went sideways and peaked in November and goes down. These are all the algos here indicating where possible swing lows. So far, nat gas has been going higher. Our mid-annual peaked somewhere around November, and it's been going down, and nat gas is ignoring that also. Our annual decimal, a very powerful one, it's an annual combined with 10 years of data. You can see that it peaked on December the 15th and has been going down, and nat gas has been going higher. One of Gann's technique is using 10 years in the past to kind of get an idea of what could be playing out in the future. And so far, it peaked in November and has been dwindling lower while nat gas is going higher. So the 10-year has not been playing out. He also recommended 20 years. This one was kind of close, but from like right here, you can say right there, this is where it started. It should have started dwindling, or at least kind of be in the lower range. And so far, this trend line has been holding. And this one shows a peak somewhere around April. So that hasn't been working. So there's a lot of things here that have not been working. The next thing here is the algos. This is what I put new, and you guys that have been watching have been following me. We just entered into the 13th, and I believe the 13 or the 14, whatever, is where we did that high, that spike high, about 436. And now what remains to be seen is to see if this is going to play out. So far, we have a positive one, which is this green one. And that leads us, I mean, that's a weekend, Saturday. Yeah, so I guess Sunday night, Monday, this is indicating a positive upside move from here, which is very possible. If I'm going to show you why, and there's another thing I want to say as a correction for yesterday's video, my natural gas mind map. I caught myself saying, I have a feeling that this is going to probably play out. I hate using that word feeling. I understand some people say I have a gut feeling. I get that. It's like a gut feeling. You don't know how to explain it or say, it's like, man, I just got a gut feeling that this is probably going to happen. Or this is about to like drop, or, you know, something like that. Or the low is in, man. It's just a gut feeling. It's like, there's no, you know, data behind it. It's just like, I don't know. It's just a weird phrase that we humans say. There's a gut feeling, man, that this is it, man. This is it. You know, that kind of thing. I get that. But when I caught myself saying this, I have a feeling that this, you know, that's not good. In my eyes, I don't know anybody else, but in my eyes, I'm more data driven. So instead of saying I have a feeling, oh, I'm kind of feeling that this is, or sensing, and when I catch myself saying that, I always like to correct it. But you know, I'm human, I'm flawed, I make mistakes. But I watched the video once I posted it and all that, and listened to it. I was like, oh, look at that. I'm back into feeling modes. Not good. I mean, it's good to have feelings, but when it comes to trading, it's not good to have, you know, you need to be like a robot. You need to be emotionless, and you need to be data driven and have conviction. Even if your conviction is wrong, at least, you know, have conviction on, you know, the direction or whatever you feel enough. You see me catching myself again, whatever you feel. It's like more like whatever you are convicted and, you know, confidence in the direction that you believe that it could possibly play out using probabilities. That's what I needed to say, because it's all a probabilities game. And in my world, I'm trying to get everything to line up where I could probably say like this has conviction of a trade that could probably have a turning point, or it could continue, or we could kind of, you know, have some, you know, good swings, a good opportunity, or good edge, you know, in regards to trading. So just wanted to put that out there. If you hear me ever saying I have a feeling, you know, or whatever like that, that's a no-no. What I should have said is that statistically, data-wise, this is, there's numbers that back that up. That's the way, you know, as data analysts and traders should be speaking, not like, you know, this feeling thing. It's more like, I need the numbers. I need you to prove it, or I need to see it. You know, I need to see some back testing, how many times this thing has worked out. So that's the kind of lingo that, you know, the academics kind of lean on more than, you know, feelings. Everybody has feelings. Feelings. Anyway, I digress. Let's look at some key things. The Gann square. So the Gann square on the big picture goes all the way to, like, you could say 1995, and picks this high here. And you can see all these points, and I have two, because I don't know, I have two lows here that I don't know which is the low that's working. So that's why I have two. This one is easy to spot on, because that's your high around what, $15. But there's a couple of lows here that I don't know which is the one that's working. So I did have to create two here, and those are the two. And then I got fractal, and this is from that low, that 144 low, and then our 1002 high. And I had to do one scale and one not scale. So that's why you see those two things there. So now that you know why I have four Gann squares or grids, is because there's two lows here that I don't know which one's working. Obviously, there's one high. And I'm going fractal here with the 144 low and the 1002. And this one is on a non-scale and on a scale chart. So now that you know the backdrop on that, let's go and zoom in. So this is the big one, one of the lows. And we can see that we're here. There is one of the lines here at 397. We're kind of hovering around it. So it's kind of support right now. Interesting. So let's go to the next one. 399. So it's not off by much, but what's interesting here, maybe zoom in a little more. There you go. We have a vector coming in. You've been following me, you know what a vector means. Things get crazy. Don't know where the direction is going to be at, but it could get wild. Here's an example of a vector right here. We popped, but then dropped. Here's another one right here. So we got this nice little pop, pulled back down, but then skyrocketed higher. So we were kind of going sideways, you know what, since, you could say since July, 3 months. And then when it got here to this vector point, things, you know, there was a lot of head fakes, but eventually it found one direction and then dropped. Same thing here, pop, dead cat bounce, and drop. What was that? That's the, the 10, what was that, 10-4 high. This is the August 27th, yep. So you get an idea. Maybe we could probably go back, but I don't want to waste too much time. Here's another vector point. Well, is that the same one I showed you? Yeah. Let's see if we can see one more. Look at a vector point right here. So the vector point is hard to trade because you don't know what's going to happen. But if you're, you're good at like fast, movements, or kind of having instincts of like, yeah, but in my rules, in my trading style, this thing is going higher. You follow that, yeah, but then you have to be careful because then look, you dropped. So NatGas has instincts to hit vector points and do a fake move and then get the real move. As you can see here, it was just one move higher. Look at this. Is that a vector point? No, that's my line. So that's a vector right there. Is a vector, pretty much a continuation to the move. So anyway, you get the point of the vectors. It's just an energy point. And guess what day is that? The 27th. Have you seen my video that I did on mind map? It was showing, and when I say I have a feeling this could go down, no, it's not a feeling. Statistically, the 27th is a negative day. Statistically. So you see, that's what I should have said because I had the data to back that up. For some odd reason, I was leaning on feelings. Statistically, that's a down day. So if we go up, starting this week into 24th, EIA report and then comes the 27th, which is a Monday. In Gann's theory, there's going to be some energy going on here. And, it may not turn down statistically. Sometimes using statistics, it doesn't play out. But you want to have numbers back you up. If you see that it starts going down, there's a high probability that the statistics are, backing that up on top of a vector where things are going to get wild. And since we've been up so much, logically, you would think it would at least turn. And then we know we have a wave 3 up here. We're dancing on a wave 3. We're waiting on a wave 4. So what would be better if statistically we have a down day, possible turning point because the vector's kicking in, and we could work on our wave 4 to do a wave 5. But that's all speculation. This is just me thinking of all the theories and, looking at the theories that I use and kind of putting it all together in a mashup. So you can kind of get an idea and just kind of looking at where the ice puck is going in the future and trying to see if, we could play the game that way, trying to think ahead. So remember that. The 27th, Monday, we're hitting a vector. So this one just has a strong level here of 398. We got a vector coming in on that one. Now this is more fractal. This one, you can see the same thing. There's a 420 high. Let's close this a little more so we kind of see what's up above us. So we got our, a strong level here on the Gann square, 421, and this also that 455. So even if we get a nice explosion or move upward, keep an eye out for 455 around there, 56, 55. There's no vector here on this one because now we're closer. This is between the 144 low and the 1002 high. Now here, same thing, but now here on the fractal Gann grid, there's one on the 25th. And then there's one on the 26th. You got two lining up, but the big one is the 27th, which is not this one. This one, because this is the big picture Gann grid. This one is the biggest one. It's the most important one. And then these are fractal. So it's just coincidence. All this stuff is lining up here. We got this nice massive move upward. We just have to be very, very cautious. Talking about zooming out, let's look at quarterly bars. So far, let's zoom in a little bit. So far, this is quarterly. So far is good. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 quarterlies that are positive. We had 2 over here that were negative, and that's where we had our February low. And so far from here, it's just positive and green. Looking at our monthly, you can see that November of 2023, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negative months. Then since April, we had 2 up, 2 negative months down, 2 up, 1 negative down, 3 positive months. Interesting is like the negatives have been diminishing. And now we're entering February, which a lot of the data shows lows. But so far, you know that that has not been playing out. So it'll be interesting to see how February is going to look. March and April, since we had 3 up, are we going to get 3 down? I know April 14 low rings a bell. Think of 2023. 2023, yeah. April 14, that's an anniversary date, a low of 194. Yep. Trying to get my mind tuned up and sharp. Weekly, we got to zoom in a little bit here. Weeklies, you got 2 weeks up. This last week was a little negative. We got this trend line here. Put the monthly here. So looking at that monthly, and it's going straight across 365. That's on the 21st, 22nd. Yeah. So as long as we don't take out 365 and 336, I think we're in good shape to continue going higher. But watch out for the dates I showed you on the earlier, the 27th and all that. I think that's it. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but oh, and there's some other ones. This is the solar cycle that I was using, and so far you can see that it has not been playing out. From here, it starts going lower. You can see that we're still chucking along higher. This one is my, I call it the Gann cycle. This is the one I was leaning on a lot. And you can see that it's not perfect, but it gets you in the right direction. And here, it just went down and that gas is going higher. So I don't know if this is going to continue working out. But this is the one I was leaning a lot in my trading. And so far, this one has not been playing out. There's another one. The spectrum cycle here so far, and this is a composite of that. So far, that hasn't been working out here either. We got the green and the red pointing for a low, although the blue one is getting toppy. And maybe, just maybe, is that the blue one is the one that, you know, but it's too early to tell. We're in that ballpark, but I'm just showing you what hasn't been working. And these were already pointing down. And that's why this one is a composite of all three, because the two are more stronger than the blue one. But the blue one is still in this top range. But we'll see what price action is going to bring us this week. All right, let's go to our next clip. Okay, I figure I'd jump into the Elliott wave because I got a lot of Elliott wave guys here. So if you've seen my mind map video, this is the monthly. And when I was talking about one I wasn't leaning on too much because it's just doesn't make sense, but I have it there just in case, you know, I think I'm smart and, you know, who knows what I know. You know, sometimes the market teaches you lessons. So I have it there just to keep me in check. But so far, this is what is indicating a wave 4. And this is our first target, somewhere around 439. And then the last one is 506. So it thinks this is a wave 3, working on a wave 4. You know what that means? A wave 5 coming in the future. And I was like, that kind of contradicts a lot of the other things that I'm watching. But, you know, so it be. On the weekly, we are on a wave 3. And these are the same numbers I get from my charts that I put on the mind map. So wave 3 on the week, looking, it says right now it could be a wave 3, but we don't know yet. Waiting for wave 4. First target is 368. Second one would be 333. So I got 2 possible wave 4s at levels. And then once they hit, See if we get a bounce, and we got to get wave 4 and then go to a wave 5. But just in case our wave 3 is not here and it's much higher, we have 440 as a possible wave 3. Very close to, you know, the 436, 439. So yes, it's very close. It could be a possible wave 3. And this one is indicating that our wave 5 was that February 20 low. So we got that 1, 2, working on a 3, looking for a 4 to end the wave 5. And just in case, you know, this thing wants to go parabolic, then, you know, we got a wave 3 of 595. And that was also on my mind map. But eventually wave 4, then wave 5, final wave 5 will be 637. Is there a higher one? No, I think that's it. We go all the way to, you know, $10 up there. So that's for the weekly. On the daily, it's indicating that we have our wave. Interesting. So yeah. So there's a wave 5 from 1018. And then we got a 1, 2 doing our 3. And we got a 1, 2, 3, 4, ending on a 5 here for a wave 3. And waiting for wave 4. And that's 387 all the way to 363, your wave 4, either there or there. And our X's are showing up. This is what keeps us in check. So in order for us to get a wave 4, we cannot cross below the blue, the green, or the red. So we cross below these, this is going to get void. Because you're entering the danger zone of the high probability of us doing a wave 4 and then a wave 5 diminishing. So these are the ones we got to watch out. And here, looking at our Stokes, very toppy here, very toppy here, as long as we push higher. And now we're getting it again, and we just had a crossover here. And these are my seasonality. This is inverted. This is what originally should be happening. This is what natural gas typically do. So you can see that it's just not a system thing. This is another program, and doing the averages on seasonality, it indicates that nat gas typically goes lower. So it's not a software issue or glitch. All three of the things I've been watching show some weakness around here. But so far, nat gas is not following it. So I had to create an inverse. And right now, looking at the inverse, it looks like we could probably have a turn here. And it goes up to the 24th. And then somewhere around here, it gets sideways, and then it drops. I remember saying on my video where things could get wild, where it could drop and then reverse and go hot and just shoot up again. So this is going to get very, very volatile. I already showed you the vector on the 27th. There's one on the 24th, 25th. So this is going to be fun. For those that want high volatility, you're going to be finding it this week. And then this one continues all the way to the 14th and the 25th of February. And then kind of goes down, which is the inverse of what it normally would do when it goes low. So I think this is what nat gas is actually, I think this is what she's doing. She's ignoring what normally happens and she's going inverse. I mean, if we get a pop here, I think that's what's playing out. But you know, what do I know? Let's look at some cycles here I have. It gets toppy around here and then it pulls back. So let's see. And then this one gets the 27th, 28th, somewhere around here. So it's going to be interesting. Time clusters. There was one that I was leaning on and didn't work out, the 9th. The next one is the 27th. Oh, remember the 27th? Isn't that the vector from the big Gann grid? Look at that. Something else confirming this as a possible turning point. Time clusters. So this is what I like to look at. So remember the 27th, that's a Monday. Statistically, Monday is a down day. So if you are holding long Friday, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you, I have a feeling. No, I'm going to tell you statistically, that day is ugly. So if it was me, not trading advice, I go long Monday or Tuesday, and ride this thing up, and then EIA reports comes out again, and boom, we get this nice pop. And then Friday, we kind of up there and just kind of going sideways. If it was me, I'll lock up some profit. But Monday could be ugly. Stokes. Yeah, MACD still positive. I think that's it here for this chart. Let's leave it back at our Stokes. Extensions, 398. We're going to go higher. That's that 505. That's the 261.8 for the Fibos that are out there. Fibonacci. And then targets. We're in that area where I had a big target here from 409 to like 387. And I haven't adjusted my ellipse technique. So the volatility, the 16. The 16, it come down. Yeah, it came down. So right here, you got that nice drop. I haven't adjusted, so forgive me. I needed to adjust my ellipse for this week. Maybe I'll do it on a Monday or on a Tuesday update. I forgot to update this. But anyway, there's a linear regression channel here holding that if we drop, this should hold. Remember that 365, that's that area on the monthly. You want to watch out. It's going to be some support. But I think maybe, if there's not a big drop, I think maybe people might come in because it's dropped really good. And I think people are going to find some discount here to maybe push higher. And it all makes sense, but it all depends, on the 27th, is it keep pushing it low and then surprise the bears on the 27th Monday and then reverse it? Or get the momentum, higher and push it higher in somewhere around the 24th Friday and Monday and then drop it. So those are the things I'm still trying to see. I got to just see what the price action in the open is for the Sunday night. Got to determine what I'm going to do Monday. I think that's it. Let's go to our next clip. So this is another chart I use to look at, and want to bring it back because I see some interesting things here. So far, we are above the 1 by 1. We haven't cracked it yet, so we'll see how that's going to play out. Let's go to our next one. Is it the Gann speed lines? Yep, I think this is the one that caught that high, 13th. So this was interesting. Good support at 374 if it's going to follow these levels. So far now we're below 405, but 374 and 343. I doubt it get down there, but you never know. Those are key levels to watch. But let's see what Sunday night. Hopefully there's not a gap down or whatever, or hopefully a gap up. Let's see. Here's another one. Actually, maybe this is the one we were doing. Let's see. Is that different from here? I can't tell. Maybe this is the one. So 386 and the 200%. So those are two levels of support. Yeah, because that lines up with the monthly closes. The 368, 365, and 386. Good levels. That's the 1/4 and the 200. Yeah, I think this one might be it. It's one of these two. This is a mirror cycle I'm watching. Where's the peak on that? That is the 31st. You get that? So that's close to the vector, which is a 20. It's not really close. I mean, it's a couple of days off. That's a Friday. So we'll see. You got your midpoint here, ways off. Parallel lines, nothing really there. We're kind of like in the middle of a square. I think I adjusted this one. It's 426 and there's a timing of the 23rd. I want to see how that's going to play out. The timing and 426. The 23rd. Here's another one. I adjusted it. This was the one I was the Gartley pattern, but no pattern found. But I'm using it, like I said, as a timing point. And the ABCD, that one is pretty much the same thing. And I think this was the 24th with some prices of 417, need to make the font smaller. I was kind of adjusting it because I noticed in the video they were too small, but I think I made it too big. So I need to work on that on the next update. This one's interesting. The cycles, the Dewey cycles on average peaked here. And then it looks like, like all the models I have showing bearish price action, but so far nat gas has been trending higher. These are delta points, and that was the 14th. So this one is going to be on the radar. The Gann swings are positive. Look at that one. The Gann swing is positive. So the bias is to the up. So we got to keep that in mind. The advance and the Gann swings are both facing north. This is Fibonacci extensions 270. This is a 424 support. We're actually at support 395 right here. I need to make this one bigger. You got 395 at support, and the 200 extensions 368. So yeah, that's that monthly level you want to keep an eye on right here. And that's it for this clip. Okay, so this is the last clip. You made it this far. I think this is where the good stuff comes. So you guys remember that I was fractal from here to here, and I was doing all my analysis and forecasting here. One of the techniques is, again, is that once you break a high from the past, so you like narrow it down to a range. So this was the range I was here, and I was focusing on all this here. Now that you broke that high, you're somewhere up here. You have to zoom out. So you could go from here to this high and then just focus on these two areas into your forecast to see what's going on here. I decided just to include the 144 low because I feel like the move from here to here has created something here that has changed nat gas in what normally nat gas does. And you could tell because normally she's, according to the data, she starts getting weaker, and things have changed here. So factoring Trump, winning the election, and he's drill, baby, drill, baby, drill, 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 excavate, excavate, sell, 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 that kind of stuff. I think, nat gas is probably entering a bullish phase on top of including the weekly cycles that are bullish to the end of December as of now. So things could be starting to get interesting. I know there's a midpoint somewhere around here, but I'm jumping ahead of myself. Let's look at our Gann square, and you can see that right now there is a vector at 125 right here. So keep an eye on that. So there's going to be a lot of price action here. And we hit the 421. I believe that's I think that's a 1.6 level right there. Yeah. And you're entering a vector. And you got support at 353. This is anchoring from our low to our high. You can see that we hit, these are closes. So we know that it pierced it. And it went as high as 363, 436, 439. There's one up here at 460. But as of right now, in regards to the close, it stalled at 426. So with the Gann grid, we're not getting the highs and the lows, but what we're printing is the close. So you can see that the close are closing right where these levels are at. It was interesting to see that. Support would be all the way down here at 360, but resistance as of right now is 426. Looks like we passed that vector right here. Let's see. Right there. This is where all that chop, and then boom, we got this nice little explosion to the upside. Our Gann fan, let's see what our Gann fan is showing here. So far, we are chopping around the 1x3. We pierced it a little bit and then failed right there. So just having a tough time. The next one will be this angle. We get to go above it. Looking at our 45 degree from the 1002 high. So far, there was a trader on the YouTube that said, man, you know what? It's a 50-50 bet. I think I'm going to go short. And so far, it looks like it's working out. It pierced it, and right now it's actually below it right there. So let's see. I know this week is going to get wild, so we don't know if it's going to continue below it, but we need to keep an eye on that. That level is, let's see. As of right now, let's see for the 20th, Monday, around there. You could say that's around 389. You could say maybe 397, somewhere around there. 399, 397. Keep an eye on that. The ellipse, you can see that things have changed once we hit this timing point. We just got this nice parabolic move on nat gas. And the ellipse were there. Fourier. What's interesting about the Fourier is that we have a nice little crossover right here at somewhere around the 17th. And it bottoms right there. I wonder if that's going to be like an inverse to the top. Fourier's here. Pitchfork. Key support right here at 360. Remember that 360, the monthly close. That's a good support right there. This is all fractal. So same thing, resistance 421, fractal kicking in here at 420. I can see, I can zoom in. 425 and 426, very close to the 427 from the bigger Gann grid. Same thing here. So you can just kind of tell 427, and here's the another one on the 19th. There's a lot going on there. We're going to take it one day at a time. The Gann fan, this is our 45 right here going up. So what's interesting here, from the 45 here, we are above it. But we just can't crack this, because if we crack it, close below it, and start making lower lows and lower highs, we're going to end up at the 1x2. So as long as we can stay above 373, let's say for Monday, 373, we can stay above 373 or at least close. That's the 27th. Yeah, so around 371. As long as we can stay above 371 this whole week, you're still doing good on the 1x1. You're still on the bullish side. Once we go below 373, 365, and kind of go sideways to lower, then you're back in weakness. And this is in regards to a geometry that Gann always emphasize. You always had to include in your analysis. So far, we broke right through that, so that's good. It was a level I was watching. And you can see that we have a little more to go. And maybe we did kiss that 444. No, we did as high as 439, 436. So we haven't really closed above that yet. Another pitchfork here. We haven't kissed this one, so I'm watching that. 2 wings. This is big picture. I'm just kind of speculating if maybe we could go even past 2025 and get to 2026 for turning point. 4 wings so far. Prices just continue going higher. If we get a good pullback and it's really bad, I'm keeping March 11th high, or March 11th for maybe a possible low, just looking at the past moves. This is a little more fractal using the 4 waves. Harmonics, we just hit one of the harmonics at 115, that 114, 113 high. The next one that's going to kick in is going to be somewhere around 410 or 411. So I'm watching this also in regards to the harmonics from these very important pivot points. Here's another one. That was the 12th. So that was lining up with the 13th. So this was another clue that maybe we could probably turn here, but too early to tell. And we also have one coming in for March around the 8th or the 11th. In the ellipse, another thing I was watching here is that we just hit a timing point right here on the 17th. Right there. We zoom in. See that right there. Goes up. It's an interesting area right here using geometry. So just by looking at this, could it be that from here we get our wave 3? We get a nice wave 4? Very possible. On top of the vectors, all the other things, the harmonics that I'm showing you. You got the 1 by 1 here that's still on the positive side, but you do have the 1 by 1 that we're having a tough time coming, you know, bunting heads there also. And I think you just got over the, man, why is my line so like wacky tacky here? Let's see. Can I do a better job? Ah, come on now. Come on. Give me props. Look at that line right there. The 1 by 2. Need to use this better. The 1 by 2 kicking in right here from that 144 low. So very interesting where we at right here. Lastly, yeah, this is an old one. You can see that that was that. Is that February? Yeah, look at that. Tell you, man, geometry, mathematics of God are amazing. I think that's it, guys. So what are my thoughts for this week? This is going to be a fun week. If you want some volatility, it's here, baby. It is here. You got the president's getting, you know, I think they're doing it inside his inauguration because I think because it's so cold. I'm not too sure, but this is it. The volatility is here. All the things that just showed you, it's going to get whack attack now. It's going to just go nuts. Nuts. I didn't even include the weather. I don't know what the weather is. Actually, it was nice out here. It was not that cold. So Monday could probably find a low. It looks like it could probably make some lower highs and lower lows. But keep an eye out for Friday, EIA report number, and the 27th. The 27th is ugly. So that's, if anything, remember the 27th is an ugly day. 23rd, 24th, you know, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday could push higher if we don't crack key levels and kind of just grind sideways to higher. And then EIA report, I don't know if it's an explosion up or you know, could get wild. Monday, if I were long, starting this week, I will at least get out by Friday, lock in some profits if it's going higher. If it's going lower, then it's probably not going to follow the statistics, but it could, you know, it could have a reversal then, you know, if it's, I mean, it depends. It could go 50-50. If it is going down and it hits Monday, the 27th, it could do like a nice, you know, sharp down and then maybe reverse. It all depends where the direction we're going. If we're going down into the 27th Monday or we're going up the 27th Monday, just be careful. Where is it leading to? Because it could be very sharp. But we don't know that yet because we haven't had the open. So we'll find out how we navigate this week. I'm going to sign out. Glad you hung out to the end. And at least you got all the goodies. And I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on nat gas.